Delighted that you could join us today for what's a very important announcement from the Outdoor Power Equipment Institute. I do want to acknowledge briefly, I've got my bosses here, any number of them. Several members of the OPEI Board of Directors are with me. Paul Mullet, Steve Bly, Steve Sowell, Ben White, Teskey, my chairman, and Peter Hampton, who are joining me today following a board meeting to help emphasize how important this issue is to the industry. We're also joined by a number of our industry friends. Sabina Hickman, I know, is here, the president of Planet. Hi, Sabina. President of the National Hispanic Landscape Alliance, Ralph Equus, and others. It's a family issue, if you will. Those of you in the trades have known I've talked about this at length. One of the challenges that our industry is facing is the changing fuels marketplace. Outdoor power equipment today in the marketplace, 250 million units, designed, built, and warranted to run on no fuel containing more than 10% ethanol. The challenge for us is the renewable fuel standard, which was changed in 2007 by Congress, envisioned an environment in which gasoline consumption continued to rise and that advanced biofuels would find their way to market. And there's a law that mandates X gallons by X years. What's happened is gasoline consumption did not rise. The underlying assumptions in the RFS were not met. Gasoline consumption is actually falling. Advanced biofuels have not found their ways to market. The problem is now you have a law that says you have to use a lot of ethanol, and it's chasing fewer and fewer gallons of gasoline. So what's happening is you're having fuels come into the marketplace that non-road product and automobiles, frankly, are not designed, built, or warranted to run on. And what you're seeing in the marketplace is what I have here on my left, just called a blender pump. You have a new fuel, it's called E15. The current legal fuel in the marketplace is any gallon of gasoline containing up to 10% ethanol. All the equipment in this building today is designed, built, and warranted to run on that fuel, and no fuel containing more than that. Well, the challenge is the EPA has said we've got to find a way to shove ethanol into the marketplace. We're going to allow E15 for a subset of automobiles. Note that no automaker has said that's okay. In fact, automakers, our industry, and marine manufacturers have been in the federal court system since that decision was announced a few years ago, trying to prevent that, because what's going to happen is misfueling. Misfueled product likely means failed product. And so we're consumer products companies. I represent consumer products companies. They're behind me today. Their products are out here. Failed product potentially hurt somebody economically, and we're interested in their safety, the safe, reliable use of the product. And so what has happened is, this is a long, complicated story, multiple-year story. The sole education that 150 million people will get, educating them on new fuels in the marketplace, is a 3x3 pump-lit. That's it. That's the only thing. Now, any number of these fuels will kill outdoor power equipment. And that's what we're here today, because regrettably, we all know the problems in Congress today. They're having a hard time keeping the doors open and the lights on. Changing the renewable fuel standard or addressing it is a very, very complex political issue. The Board of Directors, does not believe that Congress can get this fixed in time to prevent injury, possible injury, economic or otherwise, to our customers. So it's incumbent upon us to do what's necessary, because the EPA's failed to do it, is to begin to educate the public. And the only way to do that is to come up with a common message, repeat that message as often as possible, whenever possible, wherever possible, to as many people as possible, and share it with your family and friends. And so we're rolling it out today. It's the Look Before You Pump campaign. We're trying to educate people that the gasoline station may not look the same, and the historic paradigm, since internal combustion engines found their way into the marketplace, that whatever fuel went in the car, it was okay to put in the can. Whatever went in the can could go into the bass boat and the chainsaw and the lawnmower and the generator and the ATV and the UTV. That is no longer the case. The fuel you put in the car may not now operate everything else. And so that's what we're doing. The Look Before You Pump is, to incentivize customers to familiarize themselves with the changes in the fuel marketplace. So we have a number of materials, right? There's PSAs, websites, lookbeforeyoupump.com. There's a web portal. Included there are all kinds of fact sheets. We have materials that we invite you to look at today, hang tags, dealer mats,